Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of WrestlePurists Worldwide. I'm joined by Manny and Backup Hangman in seconds. I don't know why he's there. He is. Here he is. Yeah, man. WrestlePurists Worldwide. Please like, subscribe, super chat, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about the weekend, Crown Jewel, Logan Paul, kind of stealing the show, getting injured, and just kind of everything else that's been going on. Really, it's not going to be that structured of a show. We're just going to kind of talk. So if you got any questions and you want to ask us shit in the live chat, then just send them over, and we'll probably there's better chance today that we're going to get to them. So yeah, man, let's get to it. I'll start with you, Manny. How you doing?
Good. A little bit depressed. I just spent like $200 on more lucha masks.
Oh my
Which
god!
ones? Which ones? I
I found
encourage
a
it.
black. I
No,
brought a
this is
black
starting.
Taurus.
This is starting to get concerning. I can't lie.
I got a black Taurus one. I got our bar one with his original mask with the heart all around his face. I got. This is gonna sound so bad when I say it. The wrestler's name was Black Man and Kung Fu. So and and then like I think those are it right now. I gotta look at the other ones I got. I got like a lot.
That collection's building.
It is.
Hangman might be worried, but I'm not. I encourage it.
I don't know what I'm gonna put them on.
We've all got to have hobbies, you know. And if you want to collect lucha masks, collect them, man. Build up that
My
wall.
hobby. My hobby is New Balances and lucha masks, and those are very expensive hobbies.
But yeah, back up, Hangman. How you doing? How's your weekend been?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Just can't complain. I'm actually very. A lot of good wrestling over the last couple of days. You know, I was very.
You cut out for a second, then.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You cut out
Yeah,
for a
no.
second.
I was just saying. Good wrestling makes me happy, and I felt really just grumpy and negative lately, which is I don't want to be this way. I want to watch wrestling and like what I'm seeing. And so I'm very happy that all the wrestling that I saw this weekend was really really good across the board, pretty much. Everything that I wanted to be good was good, you know. So it was a very fun weekend. It was pretty eventful. There's a lot to kind of get into and talk about. So I'm happy to be live. I'm happy to be worldwide. You know, on Russell
Worldwide?
Pierce's worldwide on Russell Pierce's studio show here.
But yeah, man. We'll start with the weekend shows. We'll talk with,
Yeah.
I'd say, probably the most talked about, which would be WWE's Crown Jewel. More specifically, Logan Paul in the main event versus Roman Reigns. They had a great match, and we found out after the match that Logan Paul has seems like he's blown his knee to pieces. To be honest, but not good, man. Not good. Still don't know how long he'll be out exactly, but he done some Instagram stories saying that he thinks he's got a torn MCL, ACL, potential meniscus damage. But yeah, it's a shame because, like I said, the match was actually like shockingly good, you know. So we'll start with that. I'll start with you, Manny, because you've got quite you always have an interesting perspective on WWE matters. Has Manny froze? Oh no, he did for a second.
No.
What did you think of the Logan Paul Roman Reigns match, Manny?
I thought it was awesome. I saw everybody talking about it Friday when I was at work, and I saw the highlights, and I was just like messing around with people Saturday, like going along with the bit that he was good, and then I actually watched the match, and it was phenomenal. I thought like if there was like a worldwide draft and you start a promotion, I mean, like I think Logan should be like one of the first top picks. If anybody he has like the presence and everything like that. He's just really good at this professional wrestling thing, and I think a lot of wrestlers should look at him and be like, man, what am I doing wrong compared to what he's doing right, kind of thing. And man, I just saw that little like wrestling exchange when they were fighting for holds, and then into the not the gut wrench, might have been a gut wrench. And
Are you talking about when they were he was kind of like Roman Logan kind of took him over and brought him to the mat. Roman got back up, did the same thing, and then he did like the fireman's carry. He did the mat return fireman's carry like takedown thing. Like it was. Did a lot of amateur wrestling stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, it was just awesome. And then the way he was able to fly to do that, was it a Flock Splash? What he did on the announcing table?
Yeah, he just did a splash with the with the freaking cell phone.
Yeah, bro, that was insane. He did that with like one bad knee, with one good knee. I'm like, bro, this guy is incredible.
Okay, we've got a super chat. Sorry to cut you off, man.
You're good.
Okay, I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna try to. Mushin Iqbal Raja, £1.79. CM Punk greater than the Elite. We appreciate the super chat.
Appreciate you.
It's a divisive take these days, you know. You can't talk about the CM Punk and the Elite without people getting a bit emotional about it. So I think we spoke about that enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing news really popped up this week so far. I know it's only Monday, but you know, people
try to get engagement out off of Nick Jackson being at a Clipper game. Like that was like a big deal, but nothing.
His
really
first sighting since.
it was like okay. No, you know what the worst thing, and I'll get into this a little bit later about like some of the more annoying conversations, but one of the trendy things that has happened over the weekend is like people posting buckshot lariats to be able to get 1,000 likes on a tweet. You know,
yeah.
I don't know if you came across
easy retweets. That was easy retweets for a lot of people that day, bro.
Just this is how it's done. Yeah. Clip like a buckshot. It's like, all right, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Rank him. He's got the best buckshot.
Whose buckshot was better, Punk's, Hangman's, or Logan Paul? Like, all right,
that was so dumb because man, Logan's was so good. People were arguing with me saying that, you know, like his wasn't good because he just did it one like they're like, see, this is how you're supposed to stutter, because if you don't, you hurt your knee like how he did. I'm like, bro, like, because you know how he did, like it once like smooth motion, and how you see all the other people that do the lariat, as soon as they land, they stutter step and then go into it. And I don't know. I think people were just like going crazy over it. What was that?
AO, talk about Jade and Kiera putting me over on the timeline. Everyone go check out AO's latest. What do we call them?
Mixtape.
What is it? Hoop mixtape.
Yeah, he did a really great one of the baddies. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. And I think Kiera retweeted it. Jade retweeted it. Replied.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So it's baddies approved, man. And that was an AO. That was an AO WrestlePurists code tweet. It did well. They saw it. They fucking.
AO didn't make that shit, bro.
What's up?
AO didn't make that shit, bro.
He didn't make it.
He's paying some poor kid somewhere to fucking.
honestly,
I saw it and I was like, AO ain't made this shit, bro.
listen. AO has a sweatshop at Dick Riders, you know, and the deal is, hey man, I toss you some bread, you give me some shit that I can put my name on, and we move. It's a good business model, you know what I mean? It's a good business model. I respect it.
He's in a low chat still.
Oh my Monty, I'm sorry to like kind of be off track here. I'm just going to my Twitter, and this account AEW Highlights posted highlights of MJF and Punk's first match, the one on Dynamite, and like I forgot how real graphs this fucking match was. You remember this shit?
Yeah, it's good stuff. One sec. Adrian, $1.99. Retaliation to Mushin's comment. The Elite greater than CM Punk. Rob, $1.99. He mad because nobody going to the Knicks game.
Knicks tape, bitch. He's talking about Nick Jackson, and me kind of like dismissing the relevance of Nick Jackson at the Clipper game.
AO's not taking these lies on his name.
I can show you all the clips on my phone right now. Listen, it's cool, man. It's cool.
It's cool, man. It's good business, bro.
It is, but yeah, no. Joke. In all seriousness, though, it is a sick video, and the song choice is fire. And yeah, no, I'm just a fan of it. I feel like some people's like wrestling video mix thingies, like they're falling into certain like tropes that everybody's doing with their videos.
Mm-hmm.
And AO's didn't really have that. It didn't feel like samey in that regard. It was just well done. It was well put together.
Yeah, man, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
What was your takeaway from Logan Paul and Roman though? You
I'm
know,
gonna get into it right now. Ayo, if you can retweet this link and tell your fan base to kind of check this shit out.
fan base.
Yeah. So check this out. Fucking Logan Paul and Roman was like tremendous, man. Like, it's the funny thing, Monty? It's exactly what I predicted it was gonna be. The thing is,
Yeah,
I
was saying when it was on, like they did the exact match layout that I kind of hoped for, except for like even at the end, like it wasn't exactly like I was predicting. It's not like I predicted how they were gonna do it, but it's just the kind of the rough idea that I wanted for it. I kind of went with it because the last thing I wanted it to be would be just like I can't remember who tweeted it, but like just 20 minutes of Roman beating the shit out of him and him getting a lucky punch and just like
it was Beast. If they what's funny, Monty? That is the layout it very easily could have been had Vince McMahon still been here.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
he has a certain way of wanting a match to be put together and structured. And, storytelling is great in wrestling, right? But Vince is the type of guy who prefers storytelling at the expense of like wrestling, so to speak. You know what I mean? And his is very overt and hammering in your face. And so a 20-minute Roman beatdown versus, a 20-minute Roman beatdown leading to a Logan punch is like something he would have definitely done. I'm glad they didn't do that. The thing is, Monty, I predicted that this was going to be like one of the best Roman matches of all time, and like pretty much better than most Roman matches, not against Danielson and Styles. And I was right. And the reason why I saw that, Monty, is because here's what I know. I know that Logan Paul had a 4-star match with one of the worst wrestlers of all time. He wrestled The Miz, who is straight up abjectly horrible, and that match is awesome. So what do you think he's going to do with Roman Reigns? In my mind, Logan's athletic. He's going to have these really cool counters against Roman Reigns. The Bloodline's going to get involved. There's going to be some cool stuff on the outside. Jake Paul's going to get involved. It's going to be great theatrics and great overbooking and chicanery and all that stuff. So I expected a really good time, and that's exactly what happened. As I'm watching it, early on, you had the usual Roman big match atmosphere. Roman's kind of beating him down and shit. Logan has the early counters to prove, like, wow, this guy can wrestle. Holy shit. And Roman's selling it really well. He's kind of being the Ric Flair in situation where he's just kind of like, oh my God, like the babyface here is like, oh, this guy can like do shit. So that was all good, and then it escalated and escalated and escalated. And Monty, do you remember you said this in the chat? The match is already great, right? And we all pointed out how great it was. And you said, we haven't even gotten into the drama yet with the trademark on drama. And that's exactly what happened. Like before any of the like stuff that makes like the match more exciting, like it was already really good.
You know what killed me? Like, I think Peach said it earlier on in the chat. Like the Jake's big entrance, Titantron, music, everything.
I think
I love
that
the
made
way
it.
that, like, how they presented Solo Sikoa. Like,
Yeah.
When I saw him come out, I was like, "Oh my God, who's that?" Even though I knew who he is, I was like, "Man, it looked like Taz and Samoa Joe had a kid, and that's what he looked like."
Okay, so Maz, what's funny? My brother, or AKA in air quotations, Zero News, because he doesn't watch weekly wrestling anymore, right? But he saw Solo come out, and he was just like, "Is that Joe?" Started fucking dying. It's like, you're not fucking serious.
Shout out RJ, $2.79 Canadian. Hey, finally catching a worldwide. Let's go. Worldwide. We're trying to spread this thing, man. The Monday show, little studio show.
We are Zero News. Yeah, man.
Joe's not here this week. We should probably, make a note to that. He's out living his best life in the States right now.
Absolutely.
He was at Rampage on Friday.
He's around a bunch of strippers right now.
I was popping so hard because I think like on the late night grand we talk about like Jeff Jarrett and that all the time and like pop ourselves. And then the day that Jeff Jarrett debuted and all that, he was at the Sixers game getting beat. He was watching the Sixers lose to the Wizards, which was funny to all of us in the late night grand community.
I saw a picture of Joe meeting someone, and like I don't know why it popped me so much, but yeah, I don't know why it popped me so much. Like this probably sounds like really embarrassing. I feel like I pop more meeting Joe Holbert in person than I would most wrestlers.
Yeah,
like it's like out with Joe Holbert. Oh shit, late night grin.
Yeah, Joe's over with the WrestlePurists universe,
Yeah. He's over, man. He's over. He adds a lot. He's a great friend of the platform. I wish we could get Joe on more of the shows.
Yeah,
But
solid
yeah,
worker.
Monty, those near falls were so awesome. I feel like there was a perfect tone to it too. Like some people would argue that the match was overbooked, but in a match with Roman Reigns versus YouTube sensation Logan Paul,
Totally
like
same. Yeah.
it's preposterous. It's preposterous, and Logan's doing all this absurd but like epic shit at the same time. A fucking selfie elbow drop. Like Jake Paul comes out with a full entrance in Titantron where he poses on the stage for like 5 seconds before he runs out to save. All of it is like madness and like ridiculous, and I feel like intentionally so, and in a way that fits the match tonally. So I actually like really had a great time with this. I thought this match was excellent. When I think
Better than I
about it,
thought, to be really honest.
of
Better than
course,
better than I expected it to be. Logan Paul did,
I,
he showed out, man. He
yeah.
showed out. Unfortunately,
Frankly,
hurt himself.
I'm gonna
this
fight you
was
on the overbook thing. I thought it was awesome. Like I just sat there and I
no.
didn't
That,
even really.
Manny, that's what I
It
said.
was,
I'm agreeing. I'm disagreeing with people that thought it was overbooked.
oh,
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, Monty. I thought this was the best singles match main eventing a Triple H show since, oh my god, the first Gargano Cole match.
Well, hold on.
So think about it.
wait,
So-
you're not counting
Oh,
Prince
I'm-
Devitt and Kyle O'Reilly in their
I think this is
takeover
better than that.
matches?
I'll take this better. I'll take this.
No,
over that.
Brock versus Roman at SummerSlam.
I like this more.
Brock had a tractor, bro.
That was that was awesome. Everybody loves the track. Listen, that match was really fun. It was really chaotic. It was very 1999. Actually, this is gonna sound sacrilegious. I thought about this at work. I actually like the work in the Roman Brock Mania match more. I was the high man of that
I don't
match.
know, man. It seems like a wild take, but I'm not sure if you're correct or not. And I'm not about to sit through a cage match for the next 10
No,
minutes
no.
going through Roman Reigns,
Roman
Reigns main events and shit.
Frankly, when I say this is the best Triple H main event since the first Gargano Cole match, I didn't really think about the pandemic NXT matches, but I don't know if I have any pandemic NXT takeover main event over a 4 1/4. I don't think any of them were. So yeah, I feel kind of confident in this take, to be honest with you. I like this more than 3 Stages of Hell.
Let's see what the chat's saying. The chat
No,
don't
what-
agree.
Someone
Yeah,
said
nobody's
better
saying
than
anything.
someone said better than Balor done Vengeance Day. Yeah, that was great. But yeah, Finn Dunn was awesome. Gargano Andrade, bro, that was way before. That was way before Cole.
Rock knows tractor law.
Track the listen, that was a popular match. The SummerSlam Brock Roman, the majority felt that was the best Roman Brock match since the Mania one.
Yeah, you want to know what I loved about the Roman Brock match at SummerSlam? It's like because
What's
I've had
up?
so many matches, the WrestleMania main event was such a letdown in the sense that like it was fine worked match and everything, but it just had no fresh ideas or anything.
Yeah,
lacked creativity really badly considering how many times they faced each other.
real quick. Finish your point. Actually,
and with this one, obviously with the SummerSlam one, it was just kind of like the absolute opposite. Like it went completely over the top. Brock tipped the ring over. It was just Tyson Fury laid out Austin Theory. It was a wild time, man. So it was just such a contrast to the Mania match.
Arian Turner said Ciampa Cole. That was the main event of TakeOver Portland 2020. That was the last pre-pandemic TakeOver. Really good show. I really enjoyed that show. That match is really good. The reason why I personally prefer Roman Logan is it's easy to be cynical about like the NXT TakeOver main event style by the time you get to that match, because not that there was anything wrong with it individually, but if you had seen every TakeOver main event for the previous 2 years, there's nothing different about it, if that makes any sense, and so it's very easy to kind of just be jaded, so to speak, because of that. Even though work-wise, it's like a 4.5-star match, but that's just kind of how I felt. Like it just wasn't super inspiring to me after the fact. Nobody talks about it now, and I think the reason why no one talks about it is the same reason why no one talks about all the supposed 4.5-star matches that have happened in pandemic New Japan.
I always said all agendas aside, the tractor shit was so dumb to me. Oh yeah, it was.
No, yeah,
That's,
it was stupid, but that was the point.
like,
Yeah.
No, but
no,
that's fair enough to point out. Like, obviously, it was dumb. It's literally like a tractor in a stadium. Like, it makes no sense. Whatsoever. Like, I don't know. It was just a wild visual, you know.
Yeah, it was
So,
fun.
yeah.
Logan Paul Roman was beast. Having now seen Osprey Naito, that match was like it was excellent. The late match, Osprey is right now the king of closing wrestling matches. You know what I mean? Like nobody has better like final 15 minutes of matches than Will Osprey. You know, he's just tremendous with that. The sequencing, the complex counters and stuff, amazing. I thought that match was awesome. But I'd still actually like it's crazy. I assumed it was gonna be above. I still kind of have Logan Paul Roman as my match of the week. I don't know if it's overtly better or worse, but I just feel like the Logan Roman match is still my big takeaway of this wrestling weekend. Yeah. I'm thinking we're gonna remember it more.
Is it more because
it's Logan Paul
isn't a wrestler? Yeah, I was about to say because Logan Paul isn't a wrestler compared
100%. 100%. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I wanted to make that clear before people start attacking you.
Like, no. It's no. That's exactly what it is. Like the fact that like a YouTuber had like this really epic, really high level match, and his third match is like Roman Reigns, is like kind of insane. And for better or for worse, Will Ospreay's greatness is kind of like expected now. It's like his standard to be this amazing. And Will was tremendous.
I don't know, man. You don't see matches like that Naruto match every day, bro. Like,
from Will Ospreay, you kind of do. You kind of do.
Even
every
still,
Will Ospreay match that I see, because sometimes I skip his matches with shitters, right? And so I see Will Ospreay like 2 to 3 times a month, right? And every time I see him, he's having like a 4.5-star match.
He does, but there's still
he's this great every time.
There's levels.
He's and so I think, yeah. Rob in the counter said in the comments said Ospreay is a standard. He's unreal. He's fucking unreal. You know. Go ahead, man.
I just got done watching the New Japan show, and my takeaway of the show was, and look, don't get me wrong, Ospreay and Naito clearly is like the best match of the night, but to me, with the standout performance, to me was FTR. So I mean, it's just the same thing with like we were saying with the Logan thing, like the way how like FTR came out on the show where I was surprised that they were over with the Japanese crowd, and like how over Dax was in particular. And then, like, the crowd was excited for Dax and the Great O'Khan when they finally came face to face. Like, the clapping was
just collided for like a minute, right?
I really want to watch that now because Manny was so high on it, and he swore that I was gonna have like a really good time with it. And
you will.
Manny has a unique perspective on wrestling, and I'm curious how I'm gonna feel watching that. Someone in the chat said I gone full on drone. Not at all. I just thought that the Roman Logan performance was very impressive, and like I said, just for the reasons that I mentioned,
you're always going to get something like that when you put over WWE these days. But it's just if you look at it, like most people were high on Logan Paul versus Roman. So
Dave Meltzer's going to give it 4, and Dave is going to give this match 4 3/4. Is Dave Meltzer a drone? Someone said. Pete said it was his third match and he had a deep fried knee for half of it, bro. That's true.
So people are gonna kill me for this and think I'm trolling like I always do, but I actually preferred WWE Entertainment than I did AEW last week. I mean, between the Rey match and then the Logan Paul match, I just thought I don't know. I enjoyed WWE more than I did AEW last week.
And here's the thing about it, Manny. I'd have to think about it, but and try to remember what was on every show. But I feel like, if that's like people will hear a take like that and be like immediately just offended and taken aback and assume like, oh my God, you've turned on this, or oh, you've become a drone or whatever. And sometimes, like, bro, you got to remember, guys, there's just all these rosters have talented wrestlers.
It's a super chat, so it's worth it.
Okay.
And it's Chris Ospreay's greatness shouldn't make his 5 stars less godly. So like that's kind of like what I was trying to get around when you were saying it earlier. Like, yeah, he's expected he's going to be great, but like, when he really like gets into that top gear against like Naito and the people that he can truly get into it with, Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
all well and good having like these great matches that get 4.5, 5 stars from Dave Meltzer against people like Michael Oku and young guys like Ricky Knight Jr. and
Mhm.
you know, and even like having great matches against like Nick Wayne in GCW, and you know, he's having these great matches, but like when he can actually like, you know, really, really get his teeth into something with someone, he just hits a different level, man. And I know how high Chris was on the match as well, but it's just he just works at a crazy level, man. Like it's
It
not
was great.
something. It's not
I guess
just
the best way I
another
can.
good Ospreay match, you know.
No, of course. You know what? You know how well I'll compare it to. Let's say this is the 2012 NBA season. The day that Jeremy Lin dropped 38 points on fucking Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, I'm sure that week LeBron James probably had a 40-point game somewhere that week, right? And like 40 points is nothing to take for granted. LeBron James is the best player of his generation. He's the second best basketball player I've ever seen, right? But at the same time, Jeremy Lin having 38 points against Kobe Bryant in the Garden.
Yeah, it's the novelty
Like,
factor.
You months later will remember that game, and we do. There's a documentary out about that fucking performance. Whereas, you know, for better or for
This
worse,
was Logan Paul Saudi game.
yeah, versus LeBron James LeBron James is one of the best of all time, you know, and Will Ospreay is already becoming one of the greatest wrestlers of his generation. You know, people don't need to be offended by me saying this. I shouldn't take it for granted. Like he's great, right? Like you shouldn't take that for granted. Most people can't have a 5-star match in their career. Will Ospreay can have multiple in 1 year, you know. But I'm just saying, as a viewer, what sticks in my brain and what I will probably remember more, maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, it's probably going to be the Logan. Not probably, it will be the Logan Paul performance because like you don't see a wrestler in their third match of a match that good coming straight from fucking YouTube. You know that doesn't happen. And that doesn't mean like I'm a drone for thinking this. And to respond to the Manny thing that where you said like you enjoyed Fed programming more than AEW. Like I don't know if I agree or disagree with that. I'd have to reevaluate. But I think what people kind of forget is that all these companies have really good wrestlers, you know. And so when certain wrestlers get to just have the space to cook, you're gonna see good things. And if someone points out that something was good, that doesn't mean that they've switched allegiances or something. Rey Mysterio and Walter are very talented wrestlers in any universe, in any promotion. I think we can all safely agree with that, right? So, of course, if Rey Mysterio and Gunther, Walter, have 18 minutes to wrestle a match, it's going to be great.
And don't get me started with that Rey Mysterio and Gunther match.
It was awesome.
That shit was...
Let's get into it. No, we got time. We got nothing but time. We got like an hour before Raw starts, and we got to get out of here really. So it happened this weekend. We said we're gonna do a weekend review.
This man is being so.
I don't care about. I don't care about.
What is happening here?
You know.
Yeah, I went in.
This I went in there. Fucking dumb.
I went in there wanting to hate the match. I went in there wanting to hate the match because like it's a troll and everything. Because how bad I didn't really like Rampage and I didn't really like Dynamite besides like the Jeff Jarrett stuff. But like I went in. When I went in there, I was like, I'm gonna get up my shit off on this Rey Mysterio stuff, and then like 5 minutes in, I said, oh no, this shit fucking rules. Like the way Rey was fighting back, and then like doing these cutoff spots, and how like Gunther was just beating up on the outside, and I was like, oh man, this is because we were talking before, like all the engagement tweets weren't all the stuff that I wasn't really popping for. It was all the stuff like the in between stuff where Rey doing a babyface comeback and then getting cut off, or that they were on the top turnbuckle, right? And then Gunther turned it into like a body slam or something like that. Or no, it was like a Hurricane Rana reverse. No, it was something weird like that. It was just awesome. And if anybody wants to check it out, go check out that match from Raw or SmackDown.
I loved it.
Rey
Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is special. You know, I put him in the same class as like Tanahashi, just a tremendous old man wrestler who's an excellent babyface, who just gets it, who knows how to structure a match, who knows how to just will a match into being great. You know, made me very happy. Rey is great at just being Rey Mysterio. I think the best thing about this match, and Isra said this to me, both men have a really good handle on like who they are as characters and as performers. And she pointed out that a spot to me that like really stood out to her. She said that Gunther does a powerbomb to Rey on the apron, right? But before he goes and then he stands on the apron, but before he gets back in the ring, he wipes his boots like on the apron. Like, you know that thing he does, like where he kind of like squeaks. He kind of like he like wipes his boots before getting back in. You know, out of respect for the mat. And it was such a minor thing, but like it really stood out to her, and it kind of made me open my eyes. I thought the match was great big man, little man match, super well worked. You could kind of have that match 10 years ago or 20 years ago, in terms of like how it was wrestled. And I agree with Manny. I thought it was awesome. So
I also like before he did the powerbomb on the apron. I like how he kind of softened up Ray's back by like pushing. He grabbed his head and like pushed his back against like the apron. And then he got him up for the power bomb. So I thought that's the little stuff he did to work on his back, which is awesome too.
It was one of those matches as well where it's like, you know, I think we both have a lot of friends that are kind of like, they don't watch WWE at all. And it's like, power, you know, all power to them. This is one of the matches where every now and then where you can say to those friends or seek this one out, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
It is two genuine literally top shelf workers. You know, Gunther is genuinely one of the best heel workers in the world. And then, you know, Rey Mysterio is legitimately one of the greatest baby faces of all time.
Of all time.
Any era. So,
yeah,
man.
I see some of the comments saying that.
They think, Manny, that you're bitter. That you I want you to respond to these allegations, Manny. The chat is accusing you of being just upset and salty at the fact that, you know, Orange Cassidy is the one who faced Shibata and he beat him, and you're mad that Colt Cabana was the challenger for Chris Jericho and not a Nigel McGuinness or Davey Richards or an Eddie Edwards or a Low Key. What do you say to these allegations, Manny?
I think that's another one for you, Hanger.
I have nothing to say to that, but Rob, thank you for the $2 super chat donation.
Slightly embarrassed, you know, even popping out no more.
Look, the Knicks suck. It is what it is. There's nothing really to say there. Manny, respond to these allegations, sir. You know, the chat is kind of mad at you, man. What's going on?
It was a bitter thing at first, and then like the shows ended up ruling. So I mean, I'm not gonna like say it was gonna be a bit at first, but I mean, I can't help it. WWE was just awesome this week. Or last week.
Someone in the chat said that, like, oh my god, they only had one good match in the week, and that isn't necessarily true.
That's not true.
I'm not gonna do that at all.
Manny wants war. This is what Manny does. He digs his heels in. He has a tag.
And he digs his heels in. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that. The Shibata Orange Cassidy match is really fun, and we're gonna get into that shortly. But yeah, someone said earlier, like, oh my god, the bar's in hell. Like, there's only one good match in the week. That's not true at all. On Raw,
we'll go through Crown Jewel now because
but not
as well. So the two WWE matches, bro. The two WWE matches of the week, we'd say Logan Paul versus Roman, Ray versus Gunther, and the next would probably be
for me, Theory and Rollins, and the big of all matches, surprisingly, the Clash of the Giants in terms of like something I'm gonna remember.
I'm actually gonna go back in when I get time, maybe later today. I want to go watch Brock and Lashley, and I want to go back and watch Almost and Braun.
Yeah, you got to watch those two back to back if you're going back to watch them as well, because it's just such a long, you know, it's your little meathead 30 minutes. Yeah, that's a pop. I'd say the consensus would be Bianca versus Bayley. In the
a lot of people really like that. Yeah.
A lot of people did really like that. I liked it too. Most people liked it. It's just a lot of people liked it more than certain others did. But yeah, that was another good match on the show. Usos versus Brutes. That was a very solid match. Good match on the show. Braun versus Omos. If you're into that shit, you popped huge for it. I thought it was great. I had a great time with it. Judgment Day versus the OC was fine. Drew versus Cross was fine. Bliss and Asuka versus Dakota and Io was really good. Brock versus Bobby was meathead excellence, except for the shitty finish. So, you know, there was good matches, and obviously, like Backup Hangman just said, his second favorite match of the week. No, his third favorite match of the week was fucking Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins.
Third favorite WWE match. Let's just clarify. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It was you gotta, because Monty, I know we were speaking during that match and you didn't really get to like watch it. I don't know if you ever went back and rewatched it. It's
Yeah, I
really
did. I
good.
watched it last night.
It's really good, right? It's really good,
Yeah,
right?
it's really, it's good. It's good meathead shit, man. Except for I said, like the finish just didn't come off well, and I think a big part, especially when watching it back, I think a big part of it was the Saudi crowd didn't really bite on the hurt lock.
Oh no! I was talking about Seth Rollins and Austin Theory.
Oh, I don't need to go back and watch that.
No, you got to listen, man. Listen, man. I'm two more strong matches away from being 8-town down.
Anyway, no, he's not bad or anything. I'm not gonna. I won't lie and say he's a bad worker or anything.
No.
He's not someone I'm gonna start, pushing on the timeline or anything.
Being 8-town down.
No.
If he starts wearing tracksuits, it's over, Monty.
At least have slowed it down a bit. Triple H just came in, took over from Vince, because obviously he was kind of getting shoved down everyone's throat for a while, and it was
really bad.
He got the case, and everyone was fearing the worst, and he's still got the case now, but it's just it doesn't feel like anywhere near the same scenario that we're in. So, we'll see.
Someone said Theory is WWE's Sammy Guevara. It's funny.
Why are you in the live chat on the podcast that you're on? Anyway, $4.99.
I'm a man of the people.
$4.99 super chat. Ztopia Productions $4.99. Would a peak Yes Movement Brian versus peak Hulkamania Hogan match be an all-time match or not? Would Brian go over, brother? No. Keep up good work, bro. I think the match would be incredible because Brian's that good, and obviously the heat would be like insane.
Danielson always to be the heel, right?
Yeah, that's the thing about that.
He said Yes Movement, Brian. So it would be like a big baby fight, like a Clash of the Titans sort of thing.
That match doesn't even make sense because Hogan doesn't work.
It would work.
Hogan doesn't work babies, and Yes Movement Danielson is a super baby face. You'd have to do like 1997 Hogan versus Yes Movement Brian, and like Hogan wasn't particularly great or anything in 1997.
Couldn't do it, bro. That's not what it says. It's
Hulkamania
Hogan, brother.
Yeah, no. Anyway, the point is Danielson's amazing. He can make any match good with anybody. Monty just reviewed WrestleMania 30's opener with Danielson and Triple H, and Triple H was like thoroughly cooked as a wrestler at this time, in my opinion. Like just the year before, he had a horrible match with Brock Lesnar, and Danielson like dragged him kicking and screaming into a great opener. So he's transcendent. He's great like that.
Brian was always going to get those two good matches out of that WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're his legacy matches. Regardless of anything he was ever going to do after it, those are always going to be his legacy matches. So, Dio Loki $1.99, 8-town down. Come on, man. This is Dio Loki, another $1.99. Appreciate you, bro. Thoughts on the NWA Nick Aldis situation?
Are you up to date with what's going on, Monty? Have you seen everything?
I mean, yeah. Like we've not uploaded anything to the site, but it's just like NWA, bro. Like, it's pretty much 2022, bro. What we're doing?
Pretty much, you were just mad because of the disrespect to Mickey. That's pretty much the gist of it.
I actually like Nick Aldis, because I know a lot of people on Twitter and stuff think he's a bit of a dick, but when I think of Nick Aldis, I think of him dropping the NWA World Heavyweight Championship to Cody Rhodes at All In.
Right.
Special moment in history for the Code Man. Now, all jokes aside, I do think Nick Aldis he's a solid wrestler, regards to the situation, it's like NWA is cooked, man. They're cooked, so
have you seen
them apparently disrespecting Mickey or being, handling her the wrong way or whatever the fuck was going on, it's just like NWA cooked, man. Nick Aldis is probably one of the only notable wrestlers that they've got. Maybe the only notable wrestler that they've got. So,
can somebody in the chat, if they know this, tell me what's going on with Darius Lockhart and if he's still contracted to NWA?
He's not.
Do you remember his debut promo there? That was like so good.
He had hype in the botched it, and Yeah, as much as I adore the guy, they had Homicide win that light heavyweight tournament, and they're just like, like Manny pumped his fist, and I get it, like, oh, it's fucking Homicide,
So he's like 46-year-old Homicide.
yeah, like. But anyway, Mad King Ass 199. Worst reign of terror. Triple H.
This is an easy answer. It's easily Triple H. Jeff Jarrett at his worst is really funny, and I gotta be honest with you. Jeff Jarrett, and I think you've said this, Monty. He's been a part of a lot of wrestle crap in his career, but I feel like
probably more than anybody in the last 15 years.
Yeah, more than anyone ever. Right? But maybe this is just me being biased. Jeff Jarrett wrestle crap is just really funny and memeable and like conducive to creating content and good for tweets. And so he's just so wacky. I feel like he's walking WCW 2000 at all times. And so I just find Jeff Jarrett like kind of fun. And so that's kind of what I make of Jeff Jarrett. And like the wrestlers he was working with were typically really good. If you go on Cage Match, there are 2 4.5-star matches with Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle on his match catalog.
Yeah.
There are no matches that good within Triple H's Reign of Terror if you take out like the Mania 20 main event, or so.
And I think those Jeff Jarrett matches are the only 2 highest rated matches. I think besides that, I think he has like 1 4 1/4, and it was like a Royal Rumble. Then like 3 4-star matches. So.
I mean, you're talking about Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett. I was doing research for Jeff Jarrett yesterday at work.
Okay. Yeah, to me, Triple H's Reign of Terror was like really fucking bad. Raw in 2003 is an abysmal television show. The shows would open up with 20-minute promos that went nowhere. People like compare Roman to Triple H in terms of killing baby faces and demoralizing the show. But I don't think it's in the same league. Like Roman has better matches than Hunter at that time. And I just feel like Hunter just felt like a black hole, in my opinion. And, him working with a Goldberg that they didn't know how to use, or a Scott Steiner, or, Kevin Nash, like it was just bad fucking content.
Yeah, it was just brutal booking, bro. Like, and it was
bad.
Right, they both were. But Zetopia to the Hogan Daniel Bryan thing. Yes, kicks his Hogan, he's hawking up. Like, yeah, that spot in theory would rule, but it's just like the match layout would be so awkward to do. And
you know what I'll say, Monty? Planet's champion Danielson versus Hulkamania Hogan is a 4-star match. I think Bryan Danielson can make that work.
You guys know what match I watched over this weekend, or we watched?
What's up?
Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Ric Flair and Andrade.
Yeah.
That match was so much better on the rewatch.
Really? I saw you tweeting about that.
How's it better on rewatch, man?
Yeah, like how's it possible?
I was just like, man, everything about it was just like everybody was watching the Saudi show, and I was just watching that match, and I was just like, man, there's no one ever gonna recreate a heart attack like that, and I was just like, that's awesome.
That's why I don't get how that's better on rewatch, because in the moment, like you literally thought Ric Flair was dead in the match, and there's almost this like frightening thrill of like, is he actually dead? And then he kind of just like Andrade kind of just drags him through it, and it's really really admirable.
That's why when I was rewatching it, I tweeted like during when I was rewatching, it was like it looked like Ric Flair died because he thought he won the match, and then like Andrade is just shaking him, and then he wakes back up and like he puts the brass knuckles on, and then he finally beats him, and I was just like, man, this is awesome. And then you hear Jeff Jarrett's wife, and then like I think Comrade Thompson's wife, they're like yelling at each other, and you just hear Comrade Thompson's wife, I'm gonna kill you, and like, wow, Rick's all bleeding on the floor, faking a heart attack and everything. And I was like, man, this is like the pinnacle of our sport when it comes to drama and everything like that.
Mad King, does Tenryu have the best work punches of all time?
Tenryu's punches are not worked punches.
Fair. That's very fair.
Jeff Jarrett has the best work punches.
They're not worked. He's just punching you at 60% force. Like, legitimately.
Yeah, Where should we go to next? We'll talk about Manny's least favorite match of the weekend, Shibata versus Orange Cassidy. Obviously, there was a lot of hype going into this because
Yeah,
Shibata's first
it's
actual.
Katsuyori Shibata, man.
It's his first actual like full match back. As we mentioned, I think it was last week when we talked about it. Like obviously he had the exhibition match with ZSJ where they stuck to the rules. Then there was the match with Ren Narita where Shibata didn't stick to the rules and just basically had a match when the people backstage was not expecting or wanted that to
Yeah.
happen. He just went into business for himself in the Tokyo Dome, which still one of my favorite moments of the year personally. But so he got announced last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday. He got announced on Wednesday and they got right to it on the Friday. So I thought it was a good match, man. It was just kind of it didn't over exceed or under exceed my expectations, to be honest. It was pretty much like what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Maybe except for Shibata taking some of those crazy bumps on his head, but
Because he's a
that
fucking
kind of
man.
ruled, knowing that he's fine. So it was a good time. It was a good time. Did you watch the actual match, man?
What? I got asked two questions at the same time. What happened?
Did you watch the actual match?
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you just get mad at the result? Oh.
Okay, so Manny, before Manny cries, Monty, let me just get this off. So for me, when first of all, like when Shibata came out on Dynamite, it was like holy fucking shit, Katsuyori Shibata's here, right? And
obviously,
yeah, right. Like it's Shibata, epic theme song, one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Like I truly mean that. I think he's at his absolute peak, he's like one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. I think it's really cool that he sees the value of someone like Orange Cassidy and like gets why he's awesome, Him working Orange Cassidy on a Friday Rampage with Mike Tyson on commentary with Jim Ross is like absolute fever dream shit. Like it's just like what the fuck is going on? And
TK blatantly screaming calls into Mike Tyson's ear was fucking
yeah. That killed me because like there are people on Twitter kind of tweeting things like Mike showing how much of a wrestling fan he is. He called an STO, and it's like, bro, if you watched it live, he says it like 7 seconds after it's done in very much a like Tony Khan just yelled it in his ear type of way, But I digress. It doesn't matter.
I respect it. I thought it was one of the best things TK has ever done.
Yeah. Make Mike Tyson look good on commentary. Why not? Be his point guard. But yeah, man, people in the chat are saying Shibata loves the game. He does love the game. It's insane. Like he does not have to be doing this. He has a decent job training rookies in the dojo, but he loves the game. He's a fucking dog. That's who he's always been. So of course he's going to continue to pursue a wrestling career. Really, really admirable. And here's what I want to say about this match. Going in, I was really strongly of the belief that Shibata should win this match and challenge Danielson, right? And perhaps drop it to Danielson. And I still feel like he should have won in the sense of like, if you're booking to impress fans who maybe are not familiar with Shibata, like what would you like as a booker, right? Just without like taking everything out of it, right? As a booker, if you're trying to like make a point to people like this guy is really like he's a bad man, you want to watch out for this motherfucker. Like you should have him in theory kill Orange Cassidy, win the championship, challenge Danielson, right? That would be like wrestling booking, right? The way they're gonna do this, where he coming off a loss will challenge Danielson, is purely like dream match booking, and so like you could kind of make a criticism there. But what I will admit, and AO said this in the group chat, is when I'm watching the match, I'm kind of not thinking about that. I'm just like really appreciative that I'm being able to see this, to be honest with you. Like I'm really happy and appreciative that like Shibata's in a position where he can wrestle and he's doing it at a pretty high level. He's not obviously like Shibata 2013 to 16, but he is very much still really, really good. He's having a real good match with Orange Cassidy. And I'm just happy it's happening. I'm very grateful, I guess is the word I want to use. And so when Orange Cassidy beat him, like I genuinely, like I wasn't like, oh my God, what the fuck? It was just like, wow, that was a really, really cool thing that AEW did on their programming. Really cool, really fun. He put the shades on. Mike Tyson's on commentary. And it was just nice. I like nice things happening on wrestling TV. And I I can't tell you the last time something happened on Rampage of that level where I just was grinning ear to ear and thought like that was genuinely valuable viewing. Like go out of your way to see that type of stuff. So I was just appreciative of it, and I thought the match was really good.
Yeah, it was solid piece of business.
Yeah.
I still would have had a Orange Cassidy drop if you're going to book that match.
Of course, same.
Like much to your point, saying because of the character that Shibata is, it's just kind of like if you're trying to get that across to the US TV audience, your audience, like a lot of the AEW audience is clued in because a lot of them are fans of New Japan as well. But still, you gotta get these people
over.
Yeah, over with the people that don't know them. Like Shibata's always going to be over. Like he's always going to get a big pop pretty much anytime he shows up in AEW because, like I said, there is a lot of crossover with the New Japan audience.
Here's the thing about Avanti. If and when they do the Danielson match, it'll probably literally be Shibata walks out, challenges him, and they book the match, right? Yeah, and cool. A lot of people are going to be very excited about this, and there are going to be some people on Twitter who will say, why should I take this serious when he lost to Orange Cassidy? And there will be a contingent of AEW fans defensive at this criticism because their energy is kind of just going to be like, be happy the match is happening. This is great. And frankly, I think when this day eventually comes, I will be able to see both sides, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the way it usually is with with a lot of these criticisms these days. It's just people get over defensive. Some people see both sides. So I don't know. It's not the way I would have done it, but like on the other side, I'm just happy it's happening, I guess. So
yeah.
It's not really anything to it didn't ruin my day or anything.
No,
not like manner. But
I love how much Mike Tyson was into Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, that was like the one legit thing that I took away from it. Like Mike Tyson's a legit Orange Cassidy guy.
Yeah, somebody who isn't an Orange Cassidy guy is our very own El Hijo del Kaneki, Mr. Manny. Manny, why are you not an Orange Cassidy fan? Why were you not a fan of this result? How do you feel about the match?
I mean, it's just I don't know. I think I worked myself into a shoot about the Orange Cassidy stuff where I didn't like him, and then it became a shoot.
It was a meme, and then you were like, "Nah, actually, fuck this guy."
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I think what got me more mad was like people were calling this a dream match, and then I was like, I don't really understand how this is a dream match. And people are like, well, because Shibata's alive and he's wrestling. And I'm like, well, in that case, anything's a dream match for him. Then like, we're just throwing that word around loosely. And then I don't know, it just didn't really make sense for me. Like, if you're building towards the Shibata Danielson match, why would you have Orange beat him? It was like the same thing when they had Adam Cole lose to Orange, and then Adam Cole went straight to the world title. I said
Cole should have never lost to Adam.
Yeah, I was like that doesn't like any like.
Chris is killing in the chat.
What do you say?
So Chris, he said Toru Yano has beat Shibata on multiple accusations. He meant to say occasions.
Chris having a mini rant in the fucking bro.
He said Orange is so much.
Chill out, man. Yo.
Chris, I'm not going to complain about him. Chris, if I was a total nerd, which I technically am, I could explain why that's different in the context of Toru Yano beating him, because there's very much context to that. But I'm not going to bore people with, a soliloquy about 2014 New Japan booking and the story of Shibata.
But what we will talk about.
What are we talking about, Monty?
What else happened over the weekend? World Cup announced. The WWE World Cup. We'll get to the New Japan show. We'll 100% touch on that. We've got, especially considering you've just watched it. But WWE World Cup. I'm not sure who's announced for it. I think there's a. Is that Santos Escobar versus Shinsuke match for the World Cup, or is it just a match on the show?
Was not specified. I would expect it to be one of the first round matchups. Yes.
But WWE World Cup thoughts. Back up, Hangman.
Every week there's a contingent of people on social media when WWE programming is happening that go, "What's the difference? This is just like Vince's show. What's the difference? It's the same thing, right?" And whether that's true or not, what I would always like to see from this regime are signs that this is very different when it comes to like just ideas and stuff like that. And if you really know what you're looking at, you can tell it's a different regime. But overt signs are always a good thing. And I am pro tournaments in pro wrestling. You know, I agree with the AEW fans who get mad at fans that call out like tournaments. Like I like tournaments. You know, I would like the presentation of them to be, you know, prestigious, and you know, you kind of set them out away from the rest of the show.
Yeah, but as an idea,
I love tournaments. Tournaments are great storytelling devices. Tournaments are great ways to elevate wrestlers. It's a great vehicle to have great matches, and the matches have a purpose because you know that it's leading to the advancement of a wrestler. In you know, so yeah, tournaments are great. I love wrestling is made for tournaments, right? So a tournament on SmackDown, good idea. I was told that there's a good chance that this is for a future shot at the Intercontinental Championship. That's a great piece of business. Gunther right now is putting together. I think, in my opinion, if he keeps going up until next year, it'll pretty far and away easily be the greatest Intercontinental Championship run of all time. And I don't know why I get so much pushback on this. Like, there's like, I don't know if you've seen these, Monty. When I tweet this, people actually come in my comments talking about fucking honky tonk, man. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? But it's like what? But anyway, the point is, Gunther. I love how he's elevating the profile of the Intercontinental Championship. When you have set up Roman Reigns to be this otherworldly figure looming over the entire promotion with 2 belts kind of hostage, it's good to make the belts that other people can attain feel important. And so Gunther being the surrogate top champion of SmackDown is good. Him having great matches for that title is good. And I think putting together 8 of the best wrestlers in a tournament to go for that shot is a good thing. If it was up to me, Monty, the people that I would put in this tournament are Drew McIntyre, Solo Sikoa, Santos, Nakamura, Ricochet, LA Knight, Rey Mysterio. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody that I named previously.
One more.
How many did I just name?
7.
Give me a SmackDown name, Monty. Besides Cross. Besides Cross. What's a good SmackDown name I could throw in there?
I don't know, Sammy. Did you say Sami Zayn already?
No. No. Let's try to avoid Sammy. Just
he's just the easiest one, bro.
Are there any workers? Are there any other workers on the brand that you could throw on there?
I'd assume. How can I not think of anyone?
Top dollar.
Someone will bring us. Where's the chat when you need them?
Yeah, right.
You know, where's the live chat? Who does the live chat one in the World Cup? It's what happens when we've got so many AEW fans in our following.
You know what, Monty?
Gulak.
Yeah, right.
Gulak hasn't been seen on TV in like fucking.
Yeah. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd throw Gulak in that tournament in a heartbeat. You know. I actually think, Monty, this would be a good opportunity to do an NXT call up of a Roderick Strong or a Dragunov or a Tyler.
People said Gulak.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna make fun of that because Gulak. That's a good one. There we go. I would do that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Tyler Bate, Pop.
Yeah.
You know, putting my guy over. You know.
To be honest with you, Monty, I feel like a lot of the names that I named are like really obvious ones to where like it's not even like getting your hopes up too high, because when I think about it, like you know, like because like you could easily do that and then like you get a bracket full of shitters, but I feel like these are such obvious names.
Your tournament.
What's up?
Never mind.
Oh my! The full gear tournament doesn't have shitters. There's talented people in the full gear bracket. I actually really like that bracket.
I'm just talking about
Manny's on his anti AEW week this week, bro.
I kind of want to get into that bracket with you a little bit later, Monty, because it's very interesting. And even though I kind of have an idea what the finals is going to be,
we've only got 30 minutes left of this podcast, Max.
No, that's fine.
That's about a little later.
AKA now, 15 minutes from now. Anyway, SmackDown World Cup. Tournaments are good in wrestling. I'm glad that we're doing this. It's something Vince McMahon wouldn't do because he doesn't like tournaments. It's why he got rid of the King of the Ring. But it's a good thing. SmackDown has a number of really good wrestlers. If coming out of this tournament, Ricochet has a match at Rey Mysterio and Santos feels like a star, I think this tournament's a W.
Yeah, it'll be good, hopefully. Especially, you know, people will be able to actually have proper tournament matches, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, you know, go on.
I was
Go
gonna
on,
say I
Manny.
agree with you saying about Walter being like the Intercontinental champ because I think he's actually made that belt to one of the best titles in the world of professional wrestling. You want to say because I feel like every match he has is a big one. You know, like
Yeah,
you have to go out of your way to watch one of his matches now, and that's
that's a good point.
I wouldn't really
Yeah,
say it about any other title, like not even Roman's title. I don't really feel like you can skip some of his matches, but I feel like with Gunther, you have to stop what you're doing and go check it out because you know you're gonna get like a classic match.
I agree. I think that's very well said, Manny. It speaks to Monty's point earlier, where like certain people in certain matches, even if someone doesn't like WWE, you would like say you should check that out. And I think Gunther has now reached the level where even if you don't like WWE, you should probably go out of your way to see his title defenses. And I think that
Mhm.
speaks. I think that's partially just because he's not a WWE wrestler at his heart at all. You know, this man came from WXW and the European Indies, and at its core, this man's like a real graps dude. You know what I mean? So yeah, Gunther's awesome. Fuck honky talk, man.
A bit aggressive. Yeah.
Dude,
You don't want
Monty,
him catching you saying that.
bro, I've literally gotten multiple comments, man. Multiple
I know,
comments.
bro. It's just
It's weird.
people just look at the days. You know, it's just one of those
Yeah,
things. It
name,
happens. It
name me
happens.
three honky talk men in a national title matches.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
But in what's it called in wrestling? No, in football, soccer, we call it like transfer talk. You know, when we talk about people going from other promotions to to new ones and stuff like that. Don't know what we'd call it in in WWE, AEW times, but WWE is apparently interested in Chelsea Green, and Bandido is now apparently signed fully signed with AEW. So there's a couple updates there. Chelsea Green in WWE. I think they're just looking to bulk
AO's
out
going
the women's
insane.
division. To be, what?
He's just been going insane in the chat. You haven't seen it? I'm gonna scroll through some of this, Monty, because you can't. It's like
Why is he doing this?
he said. He said SmackDown bad, Raw bad, WWE
I'll
bad.
pull him up.
I will be watching football.
I can't do all this. When you read off comments on the screen,
I'm
people
sorry.
can't see them, and it's just like, look at it. What?
I did the same thing when that Colt Cabana came out. I started watching the Astros.
Look at him. He's burying his own territory. You know,
WrestlePurists will fail.
burying his own territory. Yeah.
Interesting
He's
moves from a man.
he's gonna take on Purists to a new network or some shit. You know?
No, oh my god.
You know, I don't really. I mean,
this.
I don't really see the
They-
point of having Chelsea Green if you don't have Matt Cardona. If I'm being honest.
I'd
Bro,
imagine
honestly,
he's
the SmackDown women's division's that like cool, but yeah. The SmackDown women's division needs depth, and it's just like Chelsea Green. I guess she's not like someone that I'd say is like a she's not like a top shelf women's worker, but she's not like bad either.
You know, what's the best thing I could say about Chelsea, Monty? I
She's got
honestly don't.
personality. She's
Yeah,
you can do shit with her. You know,
she can perform on TV and get like over, well, potentially over, but she can
Look at
perform.
this. Blind Manny shilling has driven me over the edge. But yeah, man, Chelsea Green, like she's not the most electric in-ring worker in the world, but she's got a bit of personality, and she's not offensively bad in between the ropes either. So it's
I'll
just one
take
of
her
those
over
things
Emma.
where they're just they're just adding depth to the division. It's like even Emma, bro. It's like even her compared to like some of the people. It's just
I don't see anything.
experience.
I don't see anything with her, to be honest with you.
The favorite thing about Chelsea is she keeps teasing a match with Britt Baker, and it's never going to happen.
I just Emma, Candice LeRae, like these women just don't. What do they do?
Honestly, I think Candice going to WWE was like the wrong thing for her. I feel like she should have just went to AEW, but
It would have been boring there too. None of these companies allow intergender wrestling.
Yeah, but she's better. She's more than that as well, bro. Like she's a good worker, and you can do stuff with her. It's just a matter of It goes back to I don't know if I was saying this when we went live or before. It's just like a lot of these new people in this day and age. it's like people come into the roster just to be part of the roster. So
Yeah.
people, the rate that which new signings or call-ups get brought in with huge impact that lasts for a whole program is very, very few and far between.
Mhm.
You know,
I
it's
don't know if
just
there's
one of those
any
things.
American. I don't know if there's any American free agent women's wrestler right now that's transformative to any division that they could add to. To be
So
honest.
what Mookie said,
Okay, Billy Corgan.
Mookie said in the live chat,
Man.
Mia Yim could be a breath of life for the SmackDown division. Well, yeah, she could because she's a solid worker who knows what she's doing in there, and like, that's what SmackDown needs. Like the balance for the women's
People
division
who can
between
work.
Raw and SmackDown, like this year, has been like insane. You know, it's like SmackDown has kind of become SmackDown's almost become like a developmental with Ronda Rousey and Natty. It's weird.
Can
You got
someone tell me?
all these like young upcoming wrestlers, and you've just got like Natty, who's like the vet. Then you've got Ronda, who's just like awkward to book. Charlotte's gone. Sasha and Naomi have gone. Like it's
Bro, I'm sorry, but hey,
oh,
man, you're lucky that you're not that. That people don't write art features or articles about you because they would have just what you said right now and wrote it out of context.
Yeah, they would have, because that's what people like to do, and people like to engage in form of quotes. Anyways, I have a question for anybody in the chat. Has anybody watched Mia Yim in Impact, and can someone tell me how she looked? Because she kind of like Chelsea Green. I don't remember how good they were at wrestling.
she's good. Mia Yim's good, bro. Like, what are we like?
I vaguely remember Mia Yim not being particularly good at a takeover match like 4 years ago.
Yeah, she's good, bro. Like, what a weird thing to come out with.
No, I'm just. It's a genuine. It's a genuine question. Just a genuine question. AO said, "I have seen 3 Mia Yim Impact matches and like them." Yeah, people in the chat are putting over Mia Yim's wrestling.
Bro, she had like a legit like 4-star match with like I think it was Jordan Grace for the title. Like,
Really? If
good,
it's actually that good, Monty, if it's that good, I will go out of my way to watch that.
She's good, man. I'm telling
All
you.
right. All right.
Support women's wrestling.
Shut up,
everybody.
Peach. What the fuck?
You're never gonna beat those accusations, bro. Hating on women's wrestling all the time.
Man, when Sasha
Coming in here, like I don't know about Mia Yim. I watched them like 4 years ago. Aren't that good? Like, bro, what? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not sure. I didn't say she's bad. I don't remember. I think Jordan Grace actually is really good. Actually, if Jordan Grace was on the market, I would jump for her. People like to shit on her because of social media. I genuinely think Jordan's like kind of beast.
Yeah, no, she's good, man. She's good.
I think she's like very good.
Yeah. Speaking of Mia Yim as well, apparently WWE's got interest in signing her as well. So with her Impact contract and her Impact contract's run out, it was only a short deal for like 5 or 6 months, I believe. And
you want some hangers to leg? You want some hangers to leg, Monty?
Is it that Mia Yim is signed with the World Wrestling Federation?
Mia Yim's a done deal.
I would assume that's
the other hanger select is that Matt Cardona he was one of the first people to have a conversation with Triple H when he got the creative job.
Mark.
Mad King 199. Best woman working each American TV promotion. So I'd assume you're going with WWE, AEW, and Impact. I'd say Impact. Most people would say it comes down to either Grace or Masha. AEW, or AEW. Shida never fails, man. Neither does Riho.
Tony Storm.
Riho is
Tony
a lot
Storm's
better
very
than Hikaru Shida, and Hikaru Shida is great.
But Riho's goated.
Yeah, I think Shida's like
phenomenal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think Riho is like by a decent margin better than Shida, and Shida is like notably better than most of the women's roster of AEW.
Yeah, it probably does come down to those. WWE. I say WWE. It's hard at the moment, really. Because like this year, I'd say it's been Becky.
It's
But
crazy.
obviously she's out. Bianca's obviously just like she kind of never lets you down. Bianca's very, very, very good. Motivated Charlotte, motivated Big Matt Charlotte
Big
Flair's
Matt
like
Charlotte.
absolute, yeah. But even still, like when she Big Matt Charlotte is like phenomenal. Sasha's obviously on the shelf or whatever she's doing at the moment. Someone said Io Shirai. Now that she's like looking a lot more smooth and more comfortable since a foot injury, she's obviously she'll be back in the conversation sooner rather than later. Asuka's another one.
Them Percocets are setting in now.
Yeah, man.
I think
The
Alexa's better.
WWE women's division in terms of actual workers and talent on it is like ridiculous.
It's all just on one show.
Yeah, that's
Big Bad
thing as
Alexa's
well.
the best, if so far that I've seen.
Listen,
Yo, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa's a beast, bro. I've been telling people for the longest. You're not even allowed to talk on Alexa Bliss back up, man, because you've been out when I've been saying, oh yeah, Alexa had this great match on Raw, you'd be like, oh, okay. And then then this week she has two more than solid good tag matches where she has good performances in both of them. You're like, oh, maybe Alexa Bliss has gotten good. But no, bro. She's like a fucking 4-time world champion, straight up Hall of Famer when she retires. Like, what do you mean she's gotten good, bro? She's a vet in this thing. What are we doing? Alexa Bliss, yeah, she don't get her credit as a worker, man, because she's such like character based and stuff, and she done all that wrestle crap with Bray. It's like she not like I'm not saying she's like an amazing worker or anything, but she knows what she's doing. You know what I mean? Which is
I like no. Yeah. You make a good point. I think the Fiendish stuff kind of like poisoned the well for people.
Yeah, it's just straight wrestle crap.
Yeah, that was like that shit was garbage. But I gotta be fair. The moment she came to the main roster, I felt like she kind of carried herself like a star, well beyond her experience level. And I was always impressed by how comfortable she was when she would speak. And as a character, I always liked heel Bliss more when she was just kind of like a sassy heel. And I think her current character is very boring, and she would probably tell you that herself. She doesn't like being.
She's literally like said it.
Yeah, but
if you listen to Alexa Bliss podcast or interview in say the past year or so, like it's incredible, like how
honest she is.
Yeah, it's just like my character's more like based around me, and I think I'm quite boring. Like, and she'll just say shit like that. And she'll talk about like how she works out a lot less now, and just like
Now with that said, her wrestling now, like maybe I have caught on a little bit late. She's a hooper, like she's a hooper now, man.
That's what she's doing,
what is that? Her code red is awesome. She's doing some like lucha transitions and shit. She's hitting the ropes good. She's pretty quick in there. She looks good. Frankly, she's working better than Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai is the one with the reputation of being a good worker. So take that for whatever it's worth. I think Alexa Bliss, she has become a very, very more than competent wrestler. If you put her on the SmackDown Women's Division right now, she'd probably be what? The best wrestler on it?
The SmackDown Women's Division, it's so tough, man. Like I said, it feels like, honestly, like when I say like developmental, like really look at the talent on it. You've got like your Aaliyah and your Shotzi's and those sort of people in the division. Raquel, the sort of people that you want to build up and get more comfortable and stuff like that, get them used to being on TV, etc. It's full of talents like that, and like I said, then it's kind of got like the player coach in Natty, and you've got Ronda thrown in there, who's just kind of a nightmare to bull, but not really in those circumstances, I guess. Then like even Liv Morgan as champ there when she was champ, it's just kind of like, would she be champ on the same roster with and I liked Liv, and I was really happy to see her win the title. Look, we voted for her to be fucking our WrestlePurists Wrestler of the Week, so I think that says everything about how we felt about Liv Morgan finally getting her chance at the title. But would that have happened on the same roster with like the 4 horsewomen on it, or do you know what I mean? No, of course not.
Okay, Monty, I have someone asked me a hanger select question. I'm going to answer all of it and then quickly mention something that we have not gotten into and ask your rapid fire answer to it. So someone said, you could put it up on the screen. It's a question from Mickey Money.
Got it.
He said, Hanger select, any update on Roderick Strong, Randy Orton, and Big E? So, Randy Orton, he's not healing well from his back injury at all. And the view on him is very pessimistic, last I got. To the point where now even the boys have caught on to it. And I believe it was Big E or Xavier Woods who did an interview where they basically like considered like Randy just like that he might not come back in general. And it has gotten that scary. Like he was expected to be back around like this time of the year, and that has not happened. And WWE like internally, like they're trying to be optimistic and hope like a breakthrough happens, but he's just apparently not healing well from his back injury, which is unfortunate. So he's been said to be in bad shape. Big E, we won't know for sure until the springtime. Big E will reevaluate in the springtime, and then from there try to officially do like physical rehabilitation on his neck. Right now, he's just letting it heal naturally. Come spring, he will try to physically rehab it, and then see then and there if he can be cleared to bump. So that's the story with him in terms of the medical stuff. I can tell you, WWE wanted to put him in creative full time, and he turned it down. And the reasoning said to me was that Big E didn't want to do full-time creative, and he thought that WWE was trying to subtly transition him into just being a retired wrestler. Like, you know when WWE kind of decides for you that you're retired?
Yeah, like what they tried to do with Savage before he said no. You know?
Yeah. They do that
That's
a lot.
like
Where
a classic example.
They decide they decide he's done, and then they were trying to do that with Big E, and he said no overtly because I think he wants to at least see. So that's the deal with Big E. The last one was with Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong has been overdue a call-up. He was supposed to be called up in September, but they moved the draft. And so now I guess they're just biding their time, and they probably are going to just bring him up with a couple other people whenever they decide to do that. But the original plan was Roderick Strong on SmackDown.
Well, yeah, to just tap on to the Roderick Strong thing, I know that there's a lot of people there's people in WWE that want to bring up quite a long list of people. Bring people in, bring people up from NXT, but it's just a matter of finding the right times to do it, and apparently that list is getting pretty long now.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, man, it's all about when the right moments pop up. So I think that's why it was such a surprise that the mystery partner in the Hit Row thing was just Shinsuke in the end, which obviously was just a pop. You know, it's always good to see Shinsuke, but
still waiting for Roddy to show up on Dynamite. You know.
When they teased the mystery partner, you thought it was going to be one of these call-ups, especially now. Like, I think this is I've heard this since, but it's just like that list apparently of people that they want to introduce into the shows is getting longer and longer, and it's just, it's not going to get any shorter unless they get moving with it.
I don't mind because at this point, there's more interesting names that could come to Raw and SmackDown on the NXT front than there are from the free agency scene. Which is why when I every time I see a Fightful headline like news on a name that WWE is interested in. Coming to select tomorrow, I kind of roll my eyes because like 9 times out of 10, especially on the men's side, it's a shitter that I don't care about. And I honestly think, Monty, like when you look at like who is on NXT, most of the like upper level names you could take there and move to Raw and SmackDown are far more interesting than like, you know, someone from Violent by Design on Impact or some shit. So that's my take on that. Monty and Manny, did you see the Sasha Banks video that she posted over the weekend?
Yeah, of course. The one where she's talking about, you know, it's almost coming to the time, and the day she's been waiting for months is finally coming, and you know, she was talking in these riddles, and, you know.
Yeah. What's your take, man?
To the Royal Rumble?
What show is she appearing on? She makes it seem like this is the month.
I mean, AEW's in Boston.
Yep. No, wait, no, for Dynamite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not signing with the AEW.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she can go to WWE. I mean, it'd be boring, but whatever, man. Whatever makes you happy.
As long as she gets as long as she gets her like top star real run as like the top woman in that company.
I mean, it's not hard, but I mean, I can care less about her in the WWE. I mean, what's left for her to do? I mean, besides like
that one thing, bro. That is literally that's the only thing that she's never really had is like she's never really been like given like she's never been like the one, you know. Out of the women's division.
I feel like her impact to more wrestling is better. Is more. I'll say it's like with Jericho, like her with Jericho. Like Jericho's, it was their contribution to wrestling is outside of WWE, just like Sasha's would be. I think Sasha can do so much for other promotions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I
Yeah.
was, I remember when she first did the walkout with Naomi, and I remember having a conversation with Joe about it, and just like, you know, obviously it's pretty much like what Manny was saying. So there isn't really much left for her to do in WWE except for that one thing that I've mentioned. And even that's really, it's not really like so much as a thing because she's already, you know, she's main evented Mania. She's been a multi-time world champion. Like you could take that and run with it. But the terms of like, if she went to AEW, that's a game changer. You know, she
And
has
I'm not
she has a following similar to Punk in the sense that like they'll follow her. Like, you know, they're legitimately loyal. Like she's a legitimate draw in that sense, and like, it would just be a game changer, man. And it's another thing to add to a legacy, which would be a lot more substantial than just another WWE title reign.
because
I
I'm not
get it.
saying that I want her to go straight to AEW because I mean I can care less if she's on AEW because it's like how often are we gonna see her? You know, like we're gonna see her pop like a match every couple weeks or whatever. I'd rather her just be like she can pop up anywhere, you know, for any promotion at any time, and I just feel like that's just more important and better in the whole scheme of wrestling. And then if she goes back, I just feel like she's fine with just being another cog in like the system, you know, like rotating.
Here's what I'll tell you. I can tell you that she's been negotiating the ability to work elsewhere on her days off, and so I actually think ideally, Ayo was in the chat killing me. Ideally, I think that if she can get a WWE deal where she can work Stardom at the same time and get her fan base into wrestling from outside of WWE like that, that would be like transcendent. And I hope she can do something to that degree. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Her video was perfect speculation bait because she because there's so many big shows in November that you don't know which one she's talking about, you know. So it's yet to be seen which one she's going to surface in. I do hope she resurfaces back in wrestling soon because I'm a bit over this whole Sasha Banks showing up at this place.
Her and Naomi apparently back in the WWE intro as well. Like, bro, it's come on. Like,
I'm gonna be honest.
I think we know where she's showing up. To be honest, but
I don't really care if she like. Cause say if she, like, what are you guys' opinions if she does the same thing in a couple months where she's not happy and she does the same thing she did like another walkout? Are you guys gonna care as much because you're gonna be like, oh, she's just getting them back?
I'll tell you this: Sasha Banks with Triple H, if she whines about something, he's just gonna give her what she wants. You know, like if she tells Hunter like, "This is bullshit, and I don't want to do that," he's gonna
love Sasha as well, bro.
He's literally just gonna be like, "Okay, what do you want to do?"
Yeah,
you know.
Or they got Cora Jade coming up.
A couple super chats. $4.99. Another Alpha Kunawa. Fellas, we need to bring AO to this show to raise our views with the casual audience. Hashtag 51% all winner. Can't have that cross pollination, man. If he's on the Mondays and he's on the Thursdays, then it makes it less special when he's on the Fridays.
We don't care about casual audience.
There's tactical booking going on here. You know what I'm saying? So just chill out, bro. You know. AO is a special attraction. We can't rinse it, you know. Mason Rollison, $5. Do you think Elon Musk's Twitter changes will impact the wrestling world as far as accessibility? I honestly think the indies could be really cooked. I don't think it's going to make much difference to anything, to be honest. You know,
I don't even know what's going on with the changes. Can you explain, Monty? For people?
Yeah, I don't even know the full extent of it.
He's getting people to pay for verification.
That's it.
He's sacked a lot of people. Yeah, man. I haven't really looked too much into it, to be honest. But I doubt it seems like it's just one of those. It's just another thing that people, you know, something to talk about. You know.
I think looking at the Fightful Raw plans, I think Seth Rollins is going to lose the U.S. Championship today.
Oh, no, hold on. We're not in the spoiler business here.
Sorry.
What was I going to say? Okay, so we've got about 8 minutes left. 5, 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's get into either. What I want to touch on at least a little bit.
We'll talk New Japan.
I want to touch on that, and I also want to touch briefly on this AEW bracket.
Okay, so we'll talk New Japan real quick, and we'll get on to AEW. Right, so New Japan, was Battle Autumn on, I think we're talking the Saturday show. Yeah, the Saturday show. There was a junior tag match, which was fun. There was United Empire versus Team Tanner, which was, that was kind of happened. Ren Narita versus Sonata was a pretty decent match with a nice closing stretch. The tag match, the junior tag match with Al Desperado, Master Wato, Hiromu, and Taiji Ishimori, I thought that was really good. It was a really good can they coexist kind of tag match, It was, that was just really good stuff. That was. Then there was Okada versus Tama versus Jay White and Kenta. That was pretty much exactly what you'd expect it to be. There was a few pops in there. FTR versus Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan. I love that, but I really do love watching FTR lately. I think some of the performances that Cash Wheeler specifically has put in the past, I'd say, couple months has been like phenomenal. And obviously Will Ospreay versus Tetsuya and Naito. I think that's like a consensus match of the year contender. So overall, a really solid show. But back up, Hangman, what would you say like stuck out for you on that show?
What stuck out for me on this show? This is the weirdest answer. People are gonna think I'm a madman.
Well, yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. and Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we didn't put it in the spreadsheet for the match rating, so I didn't read it off. There was something else that I missed off as well.
You know what it is, Monty? Evil had the Heyman layout of a match, which is just take out everything in your matches that isn't good, and just do everything that you do good. And if that means that your match is 4 minutes, so be it. And I think wrestling needs more of this. I feel like everyone's just so obligated to just have the traditional wrestling match pacing and style and length. And look, man, if your bag is, 4 minutes worth of wrestling, then do 4 minutes worth of wrestling. You don't got to do 20 minutes in House of Torture interference and bullshit.
Yeah, it's long, bro. So to be, I tweeted about it on, I tweeted about it on Twitter. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. has been able to get these like wildly entertaining, fun, good matches out of House of Torture Evil, and it's like he deserves a lot of credit for it because he's done it on like 3 occasions now. So like, you see these matches he has with other people. Like Evil's had some terrible matches with really great wrestlers in recent like months, past year or so with his House of Torture shit. So like I said, Zack Sabre Jr. deserves all the credit for what he's able to get out of him at the minute. It's like Evil's not even like a bad wrestler, and that's what makes it even more frustrating. So yeah.
Cedric, sorry, no, I want to bring this up on the air. It's not related. So now the New Japan show was cool. I felt like the opener just kind of kept going, and it was like annoying me. Like I think Titan is really cool, and I'm glad he's in New Japan. He's gonna really help the undercard. Titan's awesome. Francisco Akira, to me right now, he's still a guy who like I don't think he knows who he is, and I don't know who he is, but he's very, very skilled at performing wrestling moves in a crisp and quick manner. And so his tag continuity with TJP is solid.
He has some good intensity as well.
Yeah. They just kind of did stuff incessantly for like what felt like 30 minutes. It was
a crazy pace.
Crazy pace. They just kind of kept going and going and going.
You could tell as well, like they were all like all 4 of them are like cardio freaks, that can even though this match was only like 10 minutes long, all of them were like breathing heavy at the end of it. Like that just speaks to the kind of pace that they went at.
There's no way this match is only 10 minutes.
I think it was.
There's no way. They were just going and going. There was no way.
I'm gonna get it up, man. It was the 5th, wasn't it?
Did you guys like Ren Narita versus
11 minutes 36 seconds? That's
fucking crazy. It felt like a 20-minute match. And you know what it was? It's because they did all the stuff that you'd get in a 20-minute junior tag match, but with none of the rest spots. Like you said, they're being fucking cardio freaks. It was cool. What did you guys think of Ren Narita versus Sonata? Because Sonata has the rap of being this like soulless wrestler who doesn't have a lot of emotion and fire in his matches. And I always kind of felt like I was the high man on Sonata. I don't hate him as much as like most of the public, but weirdly, this was a match where that Sonata criticism hit me. Where I'm watching it, and it just kind of feels devoid of like life and intensity for a lot of it. But at the same time, on a technical level, the work is super super duper well wrestled and really sharp. And I thought the closing stretch with some of the counters and stuff was really 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 good. I think Ren Narita is coming along very nicely. I don't like him as much as the other young lions. I like Shota and Yuya more because I feel like they have more individuality than Ren Narita. But Ren Narita is a super duper solid worker. I thought that match became good, and I'm really looking forward to that Wrestle Kingdom match with him and Zack Sabre Jr. That's gonna be fucking sick. And I hope Ren wins because it would make more sense given what the title is supposed to be about. But like you said, Zack Sabre has gotten these really good matches out of like House of Torture guys, you know, and he's the type of guy that Zack Sabre, you ask him to work a match with a 15-minute time limit, he's gonna do that easy peasy, you know. So in that finals, that's gonna be at Wrestle Kingdom. Like you can't really go wrong with either choice.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like I said, ZSJ, I think he kind of slept on like how much of like he's like a vet at this point, you know.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He can navigate his way pretty much through anything at this stage in terms of in-ring work. But yeah, man. Any other highlights from the show? What about you, man?
Besides Ospreay Naito, I think it's FTR. I think they were just incredible. Their reactions that they were getting. My favorite spot of the weekend is Jeff Cobb getting Cash Wheeler in the tour of the islands, and the crowd gasping, like them thinking like he was done, and then Dax just cutting it off by going at his knee, and the crowd like exploding with clapping, and just like they got him, and then like, man, I don't know, they just fit so perfect in New Japan.
They fit perfect everywhere, man.
They're very malleable. They're an amazing team. Two quick things, Monty, before we close this out. Number one, Shota Umino is a very exciting prospect. I'm really happy he's back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think there's big things coming ahead for him. And what fires me up about New Japan now is the influx of new good wrestlers. Because the last, the Okan Wato wave was extremely disappointing and added very little of like main event value to the product. And so now coming in with Ren Narita and Shota, and hopefully Yuya Uemura sooner rather than later. And now we see Gabriel Kidd kind of getting back in the fold. I'm very optimistic about the young talent coming in now because they're very, very high level. And so I'm excited about them. Regarding the AEW bracket, real quick, because this is what I want to close with, Monty. I just want to say, guys, this is what I want out of Rampage, man. The fact that this upcoming week's Rampage's TV show is dedicated to just getting through the majority of the first round, that's a good way to spend an hour of your TV. You know, 3 matches from the tournament, first round, they all look pretty good. You know, you got Ricky Starks and Lance Archer, you got Brian Cage and Dante Martin, and you have I can't remember the third one off the top of my head. I think it's Bandito and Rouge. That's a good 3-match card for Rampage.
Bandito's obviously, you know, he's signed now reportedly.
I just don't get why they put the 2 best wrestlers together.
So here's my question for you guys regarding this bracket. What final do you want to see, and what final do you think we're getting?
I think we're gonna get fucking Ethan Page and Ricky Starks, man.
The way he said that, Monty.
I don't know, man. I'd need to look at the bracket. I'd actually need to look at it to know which is actually possible.
I'm disgusted just looking at like in my head. I already have a picture of like the Firm taking out freaking Eddie Kingston, and then Ethan Page like yelling, doing a screaming promo that he beat Eddie Kingston. Then the fact that Ethan Page might fucking beat Rush or Bandito, and I'm just like, come on, bro, you can't. These guys are dogs, bro. Like, come on, people are gonna be watching that match and be like,
Monty, are you ready for a ref distraction by the Firm leading to W. Morrissey powerbombing Bandito on the apron, leading to Ethan Page doing the Ego's Edge and going over?
This is when Rush should be like politicking. He's like, bro, like, telling you, I'm not gonna lose to this dude.
I got an idea. Honestly, I think.
Oh, we gotta do who through the week, man. We're talking about bad brackets.
It's not a bad bracket.
What? Read the bracket to me. Well, he's on the left side.
So I know by memory. So it's Ethan Page versus Eddie Kingston, and then the other match is Bandito Rush. Then on the other side, it's Ricky Starks, Archer, and then Dante Martin, Brian Cage.
Yes.
I don't know, man. It's if it was the WWE World Cup, I'd say that's a fun little bracket, you know.
The
Mm.
WWE World
For
Cup
a
sounds
world
better.
title eliminator, you know, there
I
isn't.
think it's.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think there's actually. I don't even know if it's possible for that bracket to produce a final that I'd like. Like, no, I'm not saying that whatever the final's going to be is going to be bad. Like, there's probably not going to be a bad match in the entire tournament. It's AEW, you know. There's the
Brian Cage
standard
versus
there. But
Bandito doesn't fire you up, Monty?
is that a potential final?
Yeah, it's a potential final. Brian Cage and
No,
Bandito. It's not going to happen at
only-
all. It's absolutely
I
not going to
think-
happen. But that
I think
doesn't fire you up.
the only finals that sound interesting to me is if you have Archer or Brian Cage come out of the other side of the bracket. Because then, if they wrestle Kingston, Bandito, or Roosh, I think those are all exciting matches.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Let's do Hooper of the Week because we've still got
Hooper of the
70.
Week.
We've still got like 70 people who have stuck with us, so we're gonna give them a treat. And Dave, we got we got a new intro for Hooper of the Week because we're stepping it up in the world, and we try to fit the brand imagery of Hooper of the Week. So we paid a lot of money.
Guys.
We paid a lot of money to get this video done. So here it is, Hooper.
It's Will Ospreay, guys.
What am I looking at? This is like you gave a 13-year-old the ability to like edit something for the first time, and you told him put together the coolest looking image you can, and that's what he came up with.
It was funny because all these take me less than like 5 minutes. It takes me longer just to find what I want, what I'm thinking of, and then 5 minutes I put all of it together.
Look at this.
There's no way he blew the super chat budget on this.
And Kiwi, by the way, I saw your comment while that video was going on. Name me one good Ricky Starks match. That's really good.
Nah, come on, don't do that. Ricky Starks is a good wrestler, man. He's a good wrestler.
But yeah,
I'm not gonna shit on Ricky.
Hooper of the Week. Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
Blue Eyes White Ospreay.
Blue Eyes White Ospreay.
I'll post the other one. I'll post the other one on Twitter. The other one, but it was just as worse.
The alternate artwork. The alternate album cover. The special edition album cover. That's what we're cooking around there, man.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. Listen, guys, we talked a little bit about Crown Jewel. We got into the Shibata match. We talked about New Japan and Will Ospreay. Did a little bit of Sasha speculation and everything in between. So I thought this was a very, very solid little episode of Worldwide. So I appreciate everybody who's watched. Appreciate everybody who's kind of stuck with us today. Nice little intimate show. And so for Manny, for Monty, Mr. Montel Jordan Heyman, what's up? What's up?
Tomorrow, we're doing Dumb Guys Live.
Dumb Guy Live?
Thursday, we're doing, obviously, the flagship WrestlePurists podcast. Friday, we're doing Unpurists, obviously. Then Sunday, we should be back with another Divas pod. So we've got a stacked up week this week.
Stacked week, guys.
Starting with Dumb Guy Live tomorrow. So hype it up.
Starks and Hobbs with a squash.
Everybody check those shows out. A lot of good content this week. Make sure to like the video and comment on the video. We really appreciate everybody who's been here. We have 49 likes here. 58 people still with us live. So if you can, these remaining guys, if you have not liked the video, please like the video. Big week ahead. Dumb Guy Live tomorrow. For Manny, for Monty, I'm back up, Hangman. This has been WrestlePurists Worldwide, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.